Hello and welcome to the Full Force News Bursts live special brought to you by General Studios REBORN.com with me, Christopher McLeod, aka Diagnostic 80, and Travis Moody from A Toy Kind of Mood. How are you doing, buddy?
I almost thought you were going to say Travis Moody just now. I was like, what is he doing? What is this guy doing? He's
I
an
was going to
animal.
say Travis, A Toy Kind of Mood, Moody, and then I thought
Works for
that
me.
doesn't sound right because there's too many moods in that.
Works
Dude,
for me.
how are you doing, man? You good?
Full of all kind of moods after seeing that. And then there's a big typo on the front, the thumbnail you got, because it says WonderCon reveals. More like
Oh, right.
WonderCon reveal.
I see.
Reveal,
I wonder what
not
you were getting at
plural.
then. I'm like, you haven't
Yeah.
said anything about this yet. So have you just noticed that and you're just dropping me in it? No,
That's
I
messing
get what
with
you're
you.
saying. I get what you're saying.
Just
It
just
was,
joshing you, Chris.
I will say though, I was a little, I gotta be real on this one. I was a little upset that G.I. Joe was relegated almost to right at the end and really rushed. I know Ghostbusters kind of got rushed as well because, Emily was basically taking one for the team there, but it just felt like, oh, that's a shame. I really thought there was going to be a lot more to it. We had that whole a bit of info that popped out before the blurb that said a new Cobra team members, and it was like, oh, you just mean the eels and the snow serpents, which you've already told us about, the ferret and the ferret scout, which we kind of already know about. And then it was like, that was all it was going to be because Emily felt like she had to give us a name only reveal.
She
Uh,
had
we,
to.
we won't go into that just yet. Let's save that for a
No.
surprise for all the viewers that have no idea, right?
But
Anyway, yeah,
all
we will
two
get
of them,
into that.
all two people that are waiting. Yeah.
How many people are watching? Like, not
Oh,
many. But
I
good,
meant the
good.
two people that are waiting for the name only reveal.
Yeah, they only watch our videos for any information. That's it.
That's right.
Hello, guys in the chat. So many of you at the moment. I hope you had I'm going to say it was a little underwhelming. Don't get me wrong, but there definitely is things to talk about here, and
Yeah.
specifically, we'll get to it in a second. But that ferret man is amazing looking. But
Mm-hmm.
we will get to that in a second. Let's get stuck into those reveal. Now, I'm just going to put my finger over the S there. There we go. Live classified Wondercon reveal. Yeah, so right, like I said, it was a little underwhelming in the GI Joe side of things. There was a lot of cool stuff in there though, and I forgot to put it in here. I was going to and then completely forgot. But the O-ring Ghostbusters, that's pretty cool, man, isn't it?
That's neat. I'm actually not a Ghostbusters person, and everyone's gonna now unsubscribe to a kind of mood. I'm sorry. I loved it, when I was 6, 7, the song, I listened to it over and over again, the first films with Bill Murray and all that.
Yeah.
I haven't, the new one, I saw bad reviews and I didn't go, and everyone's like, well, all the fans say 99%. I'm just not a Ghostbusters guy, but I'm happy for those who are.
That's cool. I did think it was interesting though. They're doing O-ring Ghostbusters, and then Super 7 are doing O-ring GI Joes now. It's like it's
A little
I don't know,
backwards. Yeah.
interesting vibe right there. But I thought that was really, really awesome. And of course, let's go straight into it. First off, massive shout out to Phil Donnelly, Articulated Points.
Yeah.
He gets in and does these live streams now on the big panels, and we really appreciate him for it. This is great as well. I mean, it was really clear. We got it was really good quality the whole way through. Really great stream. Thank you, Phil. We really appreciate you, mate. And hopefully those, there were a lot of people watching as well because those videos do well, the live streams, don't they?
500 plus people watching, and then my other buddy, he had over almost 1,000 people watch his.
Amazing stuff.
It's insane. Maybe I should have gone to Anaheim just to get a few more subscribers.
Yeah, just to get the subs up, mate. Definitely.
A couple subs up. Yeah.
So yeah, it was Emily for Ghostbusters and GI Joe. It was Ryan for Marvel Legends, BMAC for Transformers, and Priya for Star Wars. Like I said, it was an Action Brands panel. I think we get a bit of Snake Eyes in there, don't we? Yeah, that's about it though. Who's on the left-hand side at the top? Is that a Power Ranger maybe? Can't even tell.
It looks like Spider-Man.
Oh, it probably is. Of course it is.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. It is Spider-Man. Yeah. Anyway, Yes, Death Valley Machine. That was also quite funny. The thing with Emily, that was really funny. Right then, let's get into the first reveal then, I guess. And it was now we did have a render of Beachhead, so at least we're getting the images of this, the kind of promo images and stuff. And also, as we'd expected all along, and I must admit, I don't know how many times I said this on episodes, I fully expected Beachhead, Eel, Snow Serpent, and the Ferret to go up for pre-order on that 4th of April slot. I mean, were you thinking that? Did you have any other thoughts about that 4th of April Entertainment Earth drop zone
Well, I was
drop?
thinking about how lucky I was to find the two retro carded Iron Man and War Machine for under retail during the stream because sorry to
Nice.
shift gears,
No, that's
but
fine. That's
I'm like,
fine.
why are we talking about Beachhead? That whole Iron Man. I know you don't cover Marvel Legends here, but no, I just was like, all right, if I don't buy these now while they're announcing this whole wave of Iron Man retro carded stuff, the second market's going to go up. Let's see if
Yeah,
they
yeah.
ship it. They might cancel it and raise the price. Anyway, Beachhead is the best of the three, and I'm excited. I don't even know what your question was, but we'll just we'll just
I
talk
don't
about
even
yeah.
I don't even know if there was a
Beachhead's
question at
awesome.
the end of it.
Yeah,
Oh,
who
about
knows? Who cares?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Who gives a crap at this point? But yeah, Retro Beachhead, it looks great. Phenomenal looking figure, and I think they've really knocked it out of the park with this one. And again, with the retro promo images, we don't get a lot of Dio shots. It's always usually this
Mhm.
explosion background and then a white background for the retro stuff. So they do tend to kind of keep the Dio shots very minimal, if at all ever.
Question for you on the beachhead, because when we covered it, I was concerned, not so concerned, but a little concerned about the color of Beachhead's outfit and balaclava and sleeves and everything. Is it a little different green than the original retro? The original retro was more of a turquoise, and this is kind of more of a limeish green thing.
I think it's probably very close to the original, I would say. The
Is it?
yeah,
Okay.
this one probably will be.
This
I
one
You know
will
what
be.
they're like
Okay.
though? You know what they're like with this kind of stuff? They do tweak with the colors a little bit. Like, even though, I mean, this is a retro one, so I do expect it to be really close to the vintage figure. But
Mhm.
you're right, he's got that. There's definitely like a hint of teal in there, isn't there? It's like a bit of like a tealy green on the vintage.
Little
And
bit.
I don't know. I think this is
Mhm.
pretty close.
Okay.
Again,
I mean, I
we'll
can't
only
tell from this. Like
we
we,
can't really.
yeah, yeah.
Rendered
Did we get
fairly
new images
clearly.
yet?
Yeah, have a look. Let me know and then send them to me if that happens. Yeah, what was I going to say? This render didn't give us any real inclination or idea of what the figure was really going to look like proper. This definitely does, but then of course we've got the added aspect that it's at an angle on a screen that doesn't want you to see anything from an angle. Classic. Hopefully we will get, I mean, we're going to get sexy images by the 4th at least. We know that much. So I imagine they'll probably post them up over the weekend. Maybe on Monday we'll probably get the official images kind of sneaking out. I'd imagine Hasbro to do that. Anyway,
Hey,
Death Valley Machine.
it's double the content for you. That's all. Double the
Exactly.
content. Yeah,
And
another
that's
stream.
always good. Death Valley Machine says the stream ended blank screen, and I'm still waiting for the new Cobra team members announcement. We'll get to that. So I assume that the copy was misleading and that it was only going to be your snow serpents and eels. Now there's the snow serpent. There it is with the blue on it. I do think they've missed a trick here with the snow serpent. We haven't really spoken about this together, Travis, but I know we've spoken about it separately. But what are your thoughts with them not really doing retro accessories with this guy?
She should have addressed it at this WonderCon panel. And if they're gonna do something about it, if they're not, that I'm gonna assume that they're not. If she didn't
Yeah,
bring it
then
up,
I
maybe
doubt it. I doubt it.
that would have been probably my question. I should have just gone to WonderCon and gave you some inside
Where were
scoop,
you,
but then I would
man?
have been
Yeah,
driving 2 hours in the rain for one name only reveal.
I
Anyway,
would.
yeah.
I would say I'm not sure if like, Emily though would really be like. I mean, sure, I'm sure she'd be aware of the situation, but I don't know if she would have talked
She
on
wouldn't.
it anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think any of them would. Honestly, it would have been that thing of that kind of like deflecting, kind of political response, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's just, we want the mortar. We want the correct, tennis racket shoes, snowshoes. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the old backpack. And yeah, Chris said it. Shout out to Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, it's not retro. It's just the different. It's retro colored, and it gives people a chance to. But then are you gonna army build with the wrong accessory? I guess you buy this and then you look at third party, right? Like Gridiron
Yeah.
and Marauders and Etsy and all that stuff. I guess it's
I
going to be expensive
genuinely
army builders. Yeah.
I genuinely think Lenny does have his eye on that a little bit. He probably thinks like when they can't get it done, he probably just thinks, they've got the third party teams to do that stuff. He probably thinks that, honestly, looking at it.
It's a blessing and a curse, right?
Yeah.
Because the blessing is that Lenny is so in tune with the community and loves it, and he's open about his love for it, who shares it. But then the curse is, well, they're going to do it. We can
Yeah.
save money. We're a corporation. We're here to make money, so it is what it is.
Yeah, so Snow Serpent, like I love the deco, I love the actual, overall figure. But yeah, in terms of like, I would have loved retro accessories on this one. But again, that goes up on April the 4th. We have the eel, which again is, I mean, it is a reissue in my opinion. I don't really, it's so minimal that the kind of the difference between the original, you're talking like ever so slight, like that blue loop on the harpoon as opposed to the red one, and
Yeah.
maybe it's a little bit brighter on the bronzy kind of harpoon bit, but I don't know, it's minimal stuff, and I'm totally cool with that, because this was one where I think a reissue in a cheaper price point works. I think it's like, it just kind of makes sense. Or like, and how many people struggle to get eels after people were buying 40 of them on Amazon? Do you know what I mean? Like, at least
True.
there, and that did actually happen.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And
Well,
but
yeah.
this
Well,
fills a gap, doesn't it? This has
it
a
it
need.
it does. I mean, I think when it comes to Snow Serpent and Cobra Eel, they did say it gives everyone a chance to get these figures, and maybe that's why they were rushed. They did note at the last fan stream that there'd be a brighter red, but when they showed the render, it was actually a darker red. So I'm sure it will be maybe someone at WonderCon. I don't know if Phil's in there is Phil. Phil in the chat. Maybe he can answer if it's a brighter red.
Yeah, let us know, Phil, if you could get a better look at that with your eyeballs as opposed to your screen balls. Gross. Yeah, yeah. What screen balls? Anyway, yes. I do not have an issue with the eels at all. I feel like it's another opportunity for people to get hold of it in a
Right.
way that it's slightly different, but it's so minimal that you effectively get the
Right.
same bloody one. And for
Well,
those that already
actually,
have eels, at least you have a
yeah.
little bit of variation in there.
Want to ask you a question on this. On these retro carded, do you buy two and keep one carded and open one, or do you just go with the one and you open it and you don't care about the box?
Onesies, and I open it carefully so that I can house it later. So what I do is I open it like so you're kind of like almost separating the plastic like fuse to the card part on the outer edge, at the top, the bottom, and the outer edge, so it kind of flexes in like inwards, and then I take it out like that, so there's no rip or anything, or no rip on the paper or the card. And then if I want to at any point, I can just go flip, flip, and put it back again, and then it's like it kind of still serves a purpose, and without it being like, I don't rip it off. I'm very, very surgical with that removal, but I do it so that you could, if I wanted to, I could glue it back down and it would be, sealed again. Not that I'm
Sounds
ever
like
going
a
to
lot
do
of
that.
work.
It does, doesn't it?
Sounds like a lot
But
of work.
it's
Yeah.
cheaper, and somehow
True.
my OCD's cool with that. So, but to be honest, I haven't really been doing two of anything, for like one to keep, one to open for a long time.
Right.
Because it kind of got to the point with Classified where there were just so many releases that it was like, one is enough right now, honestly. And I'm happy to just have it displayed, and the packaging just goes into storage anyway. So yeah, it's
Mhm.
not a. I mean, are you getting the twosies of everything?
Well, yeah, that's why I'm asking, is because I do two of these now that we get the thicker card. The other ones I didn't bother because the whole fiasco of
Toilet
the,
paper
the
cards.
the cheap cards. And now we know we were blaming Walmart forever. And you could still blame Walmart forever. That's fine by me. But we know it's the cards because I'm getting them from Amazon Perfect and
Yeah,
Amazon packs like they don't care. So it's
yeah.
all about the card at the end of the day. The
Ace
card stuff is
Ventura.
nice. Yeah, but I guess
Like,
here's the deal with the Cobra Eel and Snow Serpent though, if you, for those that want it MOC, mint on card, yeah,
Mint on card. Yes.
MOC, you get the wrong accessories with it, so it's kind of
Yeah.
creates a little issue there with these. You know, do you really
Yeah.
want to go? I may just go one on these just to have, or if I want a true build two, whatever. But I'm not going to care about the retro card because it's got the wrong stuff in there.
Right, right. That's a good point. I mean, I would personally, when I pick these up eventually, they will be taken off the card and put on display. But yeah, I'm not gonna be like army building crazy on any of these. I did get two eels originally. That was the last one I ever got two of. I think, yeah, I think that was. Anywho, Tony said it's a brighter red, says Jeremy. Yeah, but it doesn't look like it. But we'll see, won't we? I guess when it kind of actually comes out. We need a comparison. That's what we need. We need the side by side. I'm sure we'll get a video come out of the Far East at some point that shows us that. Anyway, and they're the eels again, just to prove that it's an eel. Now, this for me was actually more exciting just to see this beauty. And my goodness, they have gone ham on this bad boy. This is so much bigger than I thought it was going to be. Not even just the wheels being huge, but like, I mean, go on, say it. Say what you were going to say.
Look at the wheels.
Exactly.
But yeah, anyway. I don't know what rap song that's from, but he's like, look at
the wheel.
I have no idea. Someone in the chat might know.
But look at the base size of that thing as well. Like they are spread on that vehicle, man. Like it's amazing. I think it's phenomenal. It's so much better than I thought it was going to be. It's better than the render. It's better than the image on the Vamp box render artwork. Like this thing is phenomenal. And yes, Sean's just made a good point there of a price situation of 65 to 75, and I think it is going to be up there. What would you say, Trav, on that one?
I think 65, you nailed it. 25 for the figure plus accessories and 40 for this, or if we're lucky, 59.99 if they want to give us, $35. That'd be a discount, to be honest. If it was 59.99. But 65 to 69.99, yeah, I think that's around, that seems true to form.
I mean, it's just so bloody big. And it's much bigger than the Trouble Bubble, much bigger than the Ram. It's just this is gonna have to be almost a mid-size. I mean, obviously it's smaller than the Vamp, but it's gonna be between. It's got to be between the Vamp and the Trouble Bubble. And I think like 65, I think is probably where
new
I'm
price
sitting.
point. Here it is. Yeah,
I think so.
Between
Anyway, it looks phenomenal. The pictures from Shooting the Galaxy again, Matt Cohen, absolutely phenomenal. And it does again highlight the kind of mystery character in the promo images for the Vamp, not being the Stinger driver, as myself and a number of other people thought it might be. Of course, it was the Ferret Scout. Cool addition to the team, though, for a troop build. I mean, what are your thoughts on the actual figure?
I mean, I want to see more. Right there, those are good pictures. Yeah, I like the gray is going to look so sharp on the blue and blacks, right? And then it's got some white in there on the chest plate with the insignia. Yeah, and it's sharp. She looks great.
It's nice. It looks great. Yeah, and I love the fact you can take the gun off it as well. That's dope. So yeah, I'm into that
looking thing. Yeah, you could use that as a kind of a mod deuce in a way. Yeah, it's cool.
It's pretty neat, isn't it? Yeah, this is a sweet vehicle. I'm hoping, and there might be a bit of a stretch, that the steering wheel steers the front two tires like the original that did. That'd be really cool. Actually, it wasn't the tires, was it? It was the tires. I think it did steer the front two tires.
Axle, right?
But it also moved the kind of front gun as well. When you moved the thing, the front gun would move around. So I wonder if that
with it. Yeah,
that's pretty dope. Chunky indeed, David. But are you talking about me or are you talking about the ferret? That's what I would say on that one. Are you talking about me or the ferret? Yeah. The right side cannon is shortened, says Stanley. Yes, it looks pretty long to me. If you look at the image on the left-hand side, it goes all the way down to her knee and then all the way beyond her head. I think it's long enough. I think it's long enough.
It's like a full almost, I don't know. It's so hard to see it. It looks like an M60 or some kind of
The
Canon,
images
man.
don't do it
Yeah,
justice, but you can always check the
hard to see.
render out. The render will show you how exactly how long it is based on the
Mhm.
vehicle. So we can all assume a tiger paw is incoming, says Chris. Well, there was a jokey repartee between one of the question askers and Emily
And
about
that
this
guy
one.
took up more time than the GI Joe reveals. What the hell
That's
was that
actually
all about?
that was a good point. Did you also like the guy that kept clapping all the way through it, like really loud? And it was just like, okay, we get it. It's fun and cool. Wait till the end and then do it when you because we've got information coming out as well that we can't
It was
hear.
like, I don't know, was he mocking? He was like, it was a repack. He's like, woo, repacks, repaints, baby, let's go.
He was doing that all the way through.
Man, good thing I
And I
wasn't in that
just
pit.
wanted to be I was kind of thinking, yeah, this could be trolling, or it could be genuine and that they just wanted to support the brand, which is great, but it's like, dude, I want to hear about what Iron Man this is, please. I want to hear why they put a skirt on this gold Iron Man, which is amazing, by the way. And what She-Hulk looked good. And what was the other one that I was really impressed with? Was it either Pythona's head
The
sculpt?
Whiplash, maybe.
Whiplash was dope. Was it Nefario? Who looks like a is it Nefaria? Nefario? Something like that. There was one of them who had Baron Ironblood's head sculpt, which
Oh
looked
yeah,
great. So yeah, that
mhm.
was a
It's
beauty.
hard to see that stuff on these videos, but I'm
It is.
excited for it.
It is. Anyway, here's another good shot. Obviously, you're going to need two of these to army build. Clearly, is what they're pushing here. This
Mhm.
kind of reminds me of the speeder bike guys in Mandalorian when they had Grogu in that bag and they were being really mean
Oh,
to
that was
him.
the worst part of the show.
That's what this reminds me of right here. These two
Oh,
on
that
there.
was a Book of Boba Fett, right? Book of
Was
Boba
it?
Fett.
Was it? Okay. Oh,
Was it?
yeah. Sorry, it was Grogu was
Maybe.
involved anyway, and he was
Oh,
in one
okay.
of their hand
Maybe not.
satchel bags. But anyway, yeah, that Count Nefaria. Thank you guys. That's what I was trying to think
Count
of.
Nefaria.
Paul just said Pythona question mark. Yeah, because Emily mentioned how the hair looked like was that on Whiplash. The hair looked like Pythona's ponytail on the top of her head.
Mhm.
That's why she said that. Mando season 1 finale. Thank you, Ryan. That's what I was thinking of.
Okay, there you go.
This is why it's good to have chat going on, because whenever I kind of go, when was that? What year was this? What figure was that? What TV show am I talking about? We find out seconds later.
I thought you were talking about those kids that were on those like speeder
Oh
bike
God, no! God,
ATVs and Book of
no!
Boba Fett. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
that was
that's what I know you did say Mandalorian, but that's what I
dude,
thought because that was the worst part of Book of Boba Fett, which I did not hate. I
dude,
totally forgot about the
dude.
Amanda one.
That was the
That was
slowest
bad.
chase ever, wasn't it?
Oh,
I've
I
never
think they
seen a
forgot to hit the yeah. It's awful.
I've never seen a low speed
They were
chase.
hitting the wrong pedal. Kept hitting brake.
They
It's
would,
terrible.
oh no, it's stick shift.
Oh,
That's why they couldn't work it out.
mhm.
Space
Yeah,
Vespers, yes, indeed.
yeah.
Yeah, that was really bad actually. Um, yeah.
That's what it was. Space Vespas. There you go. Nailed
Travis is right. That was the worst part of many, many bad things in Book of Boba Fett.
it.
I didn't actually mind Book of Boba Fett, but I know
I didn't
I'm
either.
not complete an idiot. There were some terrible aspects to it.
Yeah.
Anywho, that was the
Can we
ferret.
talk
And
about
again,
these? Can we talk about those? Go back to that if you want, please.
boop.
Those buckets. Did it look like see those helmets, man? Like visor. We didn't notice that on the renders. See how the one on the right, it's got like the motocross visor is like lifted up.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know if it goes down or if it just
No, I'm pretty sure
stays
that's
like
just
that.
I'm pretty sure it's just like a peak, like me at,
You're
like
right.
our ats. I don't think it goes up or down necessarily. It'd be
But it's
frigging cool if
cool.
it did.
I don't think we noticed that before though, right? This is kind of the newest. Did you
No,
know it was like
we've seen the helmet kind of close up, but I don't know if there's any
okay,
movement on it.
right? Yeah, I mean it looks awesome. Looks real dope.
Imagine if the visor does articulate though. If that came down like that and then had like two little eye holes like that, because that's what it would look. That's what it would be like because of the
I just
shape on the
didn't know
top
it
of
would
the.
stick out that much. I just thought it would kind of go down, so it's pretty cool. It's got some
Yeah, It's neat, isn't it? It's a really cool helmet. I'm very into seeing what that. Yeah, actually, I mean, let's face it. All of the good images will flood in at some point, and we'll actually see clearly what we're looking at right now. All of these will be available for pre-order on April the 4th, as we'd suspected, thanks to that Entertainment Earth drop zone drop. So 3 retro figures and the Ferret ATV, check. And I think then we're caught up with repaints.
Yeah.
Eel, repack. Woo.
Yeah, repack. Let's go. Emily, I love you. Woo!
I've got to shout out Emily though. She was great, and she is always a good MC, and she's always really good with dealing with like awkward kind of fans and stuff like that. Like if someone's quite awkward, she just knows, she does
She's
well.
She's a boss.
She's pro. Anyway, available for pre-order on April the 4th. Bosh. Then we got a name only reveal, baby cakes. Yeah. Cobra Commander Once a Man. And I just stole this from our monthly episode, I know, but why do more graphics when I can just steal old ones, right? What are you thinking?
I was once a man.
What do you think? What do you think? You enjoying this?
I'm just glad we got one name only reveal so we could actually talk about something. We almost did. If they took their time, we wouldn't have been talking about this, right?
Could you imagine? I almost wonder if Emily forgot to talk about the new Cobra recruits or the new Cobra team members joining the Classified series. Because Cobra Commander is not a new character, so that doesn't count. The Snow Serpent, Eels, and the Ferret, we already knew about them. And then Beachhead is for G.I. Joe. So what were they referring to? I wonder if they had something planned and she just forgot to mention it. I'm gonna see what she's written on Instagram, because you know what she's like.
Well, and also the person that writes the copy could have messed up and translated it, differently. Maybe it was like a Cobra, I don't know, it did say Cobra member. And then there was new print. Originally it said new recruits. And then when I reread the panel, it just said a new Cobra member.
I know. I think it always, from what I can tell, it always said new Cobra team member. From what I could,
Cobra team member, but it did say recruit somewhere else. Like they did sell it. It was like a tweet, probably. Maybe someone can. We got people in the chat. But there were two. Yeah, there were two different ways they said it. Yeah.
Oh, Jeremy's asked a very interesting question, and we'll get to that in a second, actually, Jeremy, because we'll be looking at the listings, and I will mention that because that's something that did cross my mind. But yeah, Cobra Commander mutated. I'm very excited for that. I'm interested. It interests me as well, because then you kind of think, okay, mutated Cobra Commander. We know Nemesis Immortal's coming. Emily talks about Pythona all the time. Are we getting more Cobra La sooner rather than later? Are we getting that Royal Guard 2-pack is what I'm thinking.
Right. Well, thank you for the hype, Hasbro, because I never make short videos like you do and other people do. And I had a nice reception to a video that equated to nothing. 4 minutes of, will it be Night Vipers or Cobra La or I was thinking maybe retro Cobra Troopers on the Officer Buck with the red, balaclava and all that jazz. We got nothing, none of that, but it was a fun video, and thank you. But this opens the door for Cobra La. That's what this does, right?
Yeah.
Further opens the door.
Absolutely. I mean, I definitely want Pythona. I feel like, Emily does mention Pythona a lot. She's a favorite character. So I'm quite confident we'll see her at some point. We have to.
Comic-Con. It's Comic-Con. It's got to be now. I think.
Then I'm thinking Globulus as well. Like, how awesome would that be?
Piss off a lot of people, but yeah,
that's the whole point, though, isn't it? Cobra La, a Pulse exclusive sub team, could be. Chris they absolutely did, didn't they?
They saw
Absolutely.
it and scrapped everything. No, I'm
Do you know
kidding.
what?
That has no.
I almost, because I've been talking about what we could expect from WonderCon on like every frigging episode I do. So I didn't really do a preview for WonderCon sort of thing. I'm kind of glad I didn't, because my preview would have been like, well, the things that we've seen, great, but like in terms of all the other stuff, I'd have been like, well, what could we see for the Cobra team members? And then like yourself, I'd have done like a list of about 50 and just been like, oh yeah, we could do this one and this one and this one. And okay, so basically, no. Um, oh, here we go. Phil, here we go. Thanks, Phil. I was chatting briefly with Emily after the panel. This was basically a test run to gauge interest in Hasbro being at WonderCon. Okay, cool. I genuinely think they could have busted a little bit more out for GI Joe though, personally. But no, that's cool to know. Thank you, Phil. If you get any other information, buddy, send it over. Phil's our man on the ground at the moment. Who's your man on the ground, Trav? Because you said is Black
So
Genghis there?
actually, one of my extended members, shout out to Stephen MC. He actually asked a question in the panel, but it's weird because he doesn't even collect Star Wars, and then he asks Priya a question about Hammerhead. So he didn't. I think the whole like Emily's like, don't ask us about and then he
Anything?
actually asked a future product question, but to Star Wars and got dissed. But I don't know. I think that kind of limited the amount of stuff people could ask when Emily, hey, what's up, KJ? But yeah, as far as who is at WonderCon, yeah, I mean he was there, but we don't have anybody like recording or doing interviews as far as I know. So
Okay. Yeah, well, you should know. It's your team. Or do you
you
just let them
know,
do what they want to do? It's like, just
I
whatever,
wake
guys.
up and send me stuff. I might use it, might not. That's not true.
Amazing.
No, no, no. But well, it's one of these things where he might. It's we don't have anything scheduled with PR from Hasbro, but it's just like Phil talked to
Yeah,
Emily after. It's
off
like
the
if you
cuff.
can grab a couple questions on phone, of course we'll use it. But we couldn't. It was too last minute to plan anything. Actually, I was gonna go and shout out to one of my co-hosts, Bobby. He got media passes, and I did initially say I wasn't going to go. And then when they announced the Hasbro panel, it was too late to get that pass again.
Oh,
We got approved,
darn it.
but again, I mean, I'd rather be here,
Yeah,
hanging out at home with you.
yeah, and not
Yeah,
having been there to listen to one name only reveal.
one name
Um,
only.
This is a good point from Liquid Identity 101. He says mutated with full mutated body, 2 head sculpts, and the big snake final form. That'd be interesting. I personally, I think what will probably happen is it will probably be like the Cobra Commander we're seeing on the right hand side of the screen, sort of like a mishmash with like his legs sticking out of one side of his pants, half the body's showing, like, you know, a bit of sexy chest and abs, one whole
Exactly.
arm out with the mask on, and then there'll be an alternate head to put the snake on. I think that would be kind of cool. I think that would work really well. If they're going to do something on a bigger scale, though, when I said scale, I didn't intend that to be a pun, but now I kind of do intend it to be a pun. So scales, yeah. I don't know.
I
I'm
like it.
interested to see what they do with that. Yeah. I'm also interested to see who's going to be involved in doing the sculpt on this, because obviously we know a lot of people are involved in the sculpt
Mhm.
for the classified series. So yeah, interested to see who takes the who takes responsibility for that one, knowing how brutal this fandom is when it comes to Cobra La.
Well,
Um,
here's what I was thinking. I see a comment there from Tristan on Facebook. It says more Cobra monsters. So I think, well, if they're testing, they do like to test everything. They're testing WonderCon, and this is a test for monsters, right? Because we got the retro Cobra Commander buck, and then they're going to use that, and then you know, man, Tony and Lenny are going to have a field day with this, with like all the
yeah,
mutation and like the somewhat the damage and the torn outfit, and they're going to go to town on this, but it's going to kind of explore how much, and then it's a good for pricing as well, like how much can we get away with and keep it within, you know, $35 of that that snow job kind of
mm,
deluxe or whatever, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's going to be interesting what they do, and it does open up to more animals and monsters and stuff like that if people accept this.
absolutely, absolutely. Stanley has asked, "Is my interview date set yet?" What with Emily and Lenny and Tony? Not yet, but they said they wanted to go after WonderCon, so probably, I mean, possibly next week. More likely, though, it might be the following week, knowing how things are. And obviously, Emily's still at WonderCon, so I don't know how much time she'll need to, and she's going to be busy as hell anyway. But we'll hopefully squeeze that in soon. Toy Bounty Hunter has asked, could Cobra Commander be in a 2-pack with Nemesis Immortal or maybe 86 Roadblock? Well, could be with 86 Roadblock, Toy Bounty Hunter, but Nemesis Immortal we know fully well is a single deluxe figure. So we know that one is what it is. But it could be, I mean, you could do a blind Roadblock in there, just like a new version of Roadblock, like a retro version of Roadblock, that is obviously like different to the first one that came out. And like give him the kind of like, paint the eyes white sort of thing. That'd be amazing.
No, this is going to be by itself because there's going to be too much to it, like we talked about with the accessories. And I'm even thinking, do we get the used car salesman look? Do we get, like, if he was once a man, do we see the man?
That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? That would be funny if it was a complete trick. And yeah, it was. No, when he was a man, not now he's been mutated, but when he was a man. And it's going to be that long tash that he has when he puts that disguise on with a ponytail in a suit, in a really cheap suit. Yeah, that would be amazing. Brilliant. Yeah, Rachel, did Emily say something along the lines of Lenny doesn't know I'm going to announce this? Yeah, she did. She just dropped it out of nowhere like a mic drop, and Lenny and Tony were not prepped that was going to happen. We did talk about that, Matt, at the beginning. We talked about the Ghostbusters O-ring and how weird it is that Super 7 are doing O-ring now, and for G.I. Joe, and Hasbro are doing cheeky O-ring Ghostbusters. I guess it's just a one-off sort of thing, though, isn't it? It's just like a fun little, it's not. I don't think we're going to get a massive Ghostbusters O-ring line, are we?
No, not at all.
No. She did actually say the price point, and it was actually so stupid cheap. It was like $44 or something for the 4-pack for O-ring figures. That's not bad, considering what 2-packs were about that much, weren't they?
And that was almost pre-COVID. We were paying $40 for, like, right around the beginning of COVID, $40 for 2, right? They threw in some accessories, but man, 4 for $44.
That's nuts, isn't it? Murphy says there was one more reveal. KJ has revealed that he was the lone clapper. Who's KJ?
It was Black Genghis. Black Genghis, KJ from A Toy Kind of Movie.
Was it him?
It was him.
He did it.
I don't. Wait, did he say he was there? Is that
he is? Yeah, he's 100%. He's 100%.
He didn't tell me. He didn't tell me.
I can't believe he was the.
He didn't tell me he was going.
How dare he?
He is the.
How dare he? Right, that's all on you then, Genghis. Maybe he was joking, but that's hilarious if it was you. That price is surprising for O-rings, as Pastor Pro you mentioned. Yes, it is. Yeah. Anyway, that is pretty much everything, I think, from the thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, what we can do quickly is just rinse through these, any changes, what have you. But no. Now, some people have been asking me, is that Once a Man Cobra Commander retro Casey? As far as we're aware, that wasn't the case. And again, I didn't mean to use the word case there like as a pun, but it's just happened. That wasn't originally the case, but Casey could be retro. It could be the Cobra Commander was Once a Man Cobra Commander. But we'd assumed it was just a basic. Yeah, I assumed it was just a basic repaint of, re-logo of the His Tank one.
Yeah, and I want to shout out Patrick, not Picard, because this is about to give me a bigger headache than it gives him every week. Unless you have real names there, I don't know. We could talk about. I'm just missing.
So yeah, I mean, I would say that confirming wise, we don't know, but I will say there's a couple of things that kind of play against that. One, we've known about this retro Cobra Commander for eons, right? Ages. I don't necessarily think it was kind of before we were talking about it. So it kind of lines up with the fact that it would be your reissue of the figure that was in the HasLab, right?
Right, because name onlys they come up with on the plane ride there.
What's relatively close? This. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. So it's probably not, in all, like, honesty, but I think we'll find out eventually when some of these get released, like unlocked, because we are, unfortunately, at the moment, a little bit behind on knowing what the majority of these are.
And cow. He's a man and a cow, but not a cow. It's a snake.
Was once a cow. Was once a
I
man.
was
Cow. Brilliant.
man.
That would be great. I would think if he was going to be any one of these, Arthur Deluxe is a possibility, because that would be probably a PulseCon exclusive. Because the TT designations mean Pulse. I'm really going to bore you now. And when they're deluxes, it usually means that they're PulseCon exclusives. So just rubbing that one in your brain. Yeah, that's probably the only one it could be at the moment, I think. Philip and Hudson possibly, but yeah. Anywho, yeah, listings.
You
Enough
know
to
what?
give you a
Oh, now
brain
'cause
aneurysm.
you're gonna upset me. You're like, no, let's just no, we
Yeah,
can.
screw it.
I'm totally kidding, bro. I'm totally kidding.
But we've already covered this like a million times now.
You know, it's true.
Um,
24 hours.
now, what do you think of this, mate? Because these are technically part of the listings. These popped up a little bit. When was it? A little before they canned the selfie series, like before it went off the map.
Mhm.
And we got these listings a little bit earlier, but they've only just come out via HissTank very recently. And I don't know if this is some sort of like planned and canned situation, or if it's going to relaunch the selfie series. What do you think?
I mean, you nailed it. It could be either, right? So, like, it could be like a mistake. Plan and can is perfect, but it does give people more of an opportunity. I'm sure everyone was like, why do I have to be like Snake Eyes like everyone else? Why do I have to be Iron Man or the Pink Ranger or whatever? Like, why can't I be this person? But they should just do a military, like, would be perfect, right? Like,
Steel
even
Core?
like the action soldiers, Steel Core is good one,
Oh,
Grunt, someone
Action
who's could
Soldier. Action Soldier and Sailor would be great if they did like 60th anniversary selfie series things. Thing is, it would be better if
it's
they
a
just
lot.
did selfie series where the heads fit on the other figures. That would just done. You could
Just
take it
give us
off.
the head sculpt in an envelope. Think about all the packaging and shipping money you'll save, Hasbro, by not giving us a body we have 20 of already.
I like that
Like,
idea
just give us
actually.
the damn sculpt like it's eBay. It's in a padded envelope. Cost you
And
nothing, especially
yeah,
you guys.
double the cost for us, and just send us the head sculpts. I'm sure everyone would love that, and Hasbro would be like raking it in. That's hilarious.
They would.
Yeah, amazing. Phil says, I keep assuming the Philip code name isn't named after me, but it's nice to dream. Yeah, SP Philip. South Park, we're probably expecting there, Phil, but that's cool. I'll take you. I'll take
I'm
Philip
Daria.
Donnelly.
I'm
You're
Daria.
you're
So just
Daria.
confirming that I'm Daria. Yeah.
I'm gonna find the most horrible one. I'll be Red Scare. Yeah, so we don't know what the situation is with these. It's a little bit up in the air. It could relaunch, but we're thinking it's probably a plan and can scenario. Anyway, Chris says Chris's interview has to have the Iron Grenadier bat revealed. Could you imagine? Because I made that error, and then that's the
Right
one
away,
going
that's the
reveal.
first thing. Guys, let's not waste any time. Let's address the iron elephant in the room, or the iron bat-shaped elephant, or the elephant-shaped bat. Give it to us. Iron elephant
You might as
time.
well just put me out of my misery, and also completely neutralize any exclusive we could have, please. That would be great.
Yeah,
Amazing stuff. I better get name
full
only
force
reveals on my
exclusive.
show. I swear, if they do not give me name only reveals, I'm gonna tables everywhere, drinks. It's just gonna be violence. I'm just gonna choose violence. It'd be
Well, that's our new
riots.
thing. It's like, well, if you're going to do it on this show and you're going to do it on this show, and I have more subscribers than that show, how are you not
Exactly.
going to do
Yeah.
it on, like, that's the new thing, man.
Yeah, that's me just moaning that, yeah, I don't get enough stuff. I'm such a spoiled brat, aren't I? I mean, I
Such a
get the
diva.
opportunity,
My God.
to interview these people that are great, and I'm just like, you better give me a name only reveal.
So actually, we're doing one too next month, and I
Sweet.
was like, I'm gonna make sure. Now they approve the questions, but I want to approve the answers. If you can't answer the question, it will not be asked on a toy kind of mood. You're not making us, because the comments on the last one, I'm not trying to put over some video from a long time ago, but the comments were like, nothing to see here. They couldn't answer anything. I'm like, you made us, and I had a blast talking to them, but people only want the scoop. They
Yeah.
don't care how it's made, how they feel, like what goes into it, what were the inspirations like,
Oh,
what
yeah.
technique they use. We
Everyone,
care.
yeah.
We just want the one-liner.
I'm like loving that stuff when we get into like the design, or when we get
Yeah.
into like the like the bits, like stuff about the logistics. I like knowing that stuff, and finding like stuff out. And then you're right, it's like all the comments are like, why didn't they should have just given us 20 name only reveals, revealed all the renders, just show us their
Where are
work.
the digital renders during the full force stream?
Imagine if like all people want is just a camera above the person that's currently working on everything GI Joe. It's just like, just do that. Just set up all the cameras. Pastor Pro,
Look
so
at
they don't
Toy
give Chris.
Bounty Hunter's comment. Look at
I
Toy
will.
Bounty Hunter.
I will get
Oh
there.
yeah, when you get a chance. Sorry,
Yeah,
that's funny.
that is
It's
genius,
funny.
actually. Fast Pro says
Yeah.
they don't give Chris any, and he goes scorched earth and reveals everything he knows. Yeah, and then I'll never get them on the show ever again, though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Toy Bounty Hunter, Emily on a Toy Kind of Mute interview. Okay, so the first name reveal is.
Just the video just shuts off. It goes black. Like that's it. Oh man,
Static.
unreal.
Amazing. The
Yeah.
design philosophy is always the most interesting, says Scott. I think that. Stygian has said, lovely comment here, 2 goats in one stream. How? Do you mean goat as in greatest of all time, or do you mean goats as in the things that the T-Rex eats in Jurassic Park?
He's the goat, and I'm just like goat, like goat milk. Goat. I'm an old goat with
I'm
this
not having
gray
that.
beard.
I've got a beard grey in mine.
Yeah. Oh, beard gray, yeah. I know, I'm so gray just for men slaps me in the face. Like, bro, step back.
You're grey after waiting for the WonderCon reveals. That's what happened. That's what happened there.
I was once a man with a colored beard. Now I'm a snake and a goat. I'm not drinking. I'm drinking water. I know it feels like it though.
was once a man. I was once a man with a colour in my beard. That's amazing. I have literally snotted everywhere. I'm crying at that. Oh, I should have. Why don't I have tissues around here? Gross. Anyway, I've used them all clearly. Right, brilliant stuff. Okay, let's move on. So I added to the name only reveals graphic. So there's Once a Man CC tucked away.
How ridiculous! Nicely. You have all the art from the card back, and what the hell is that? It's like a third grader drawing the Thing from Fantastic Four.
It does look like the Thing. That's amazing. It's the Thing just with teeth on the outside. Brilliant stuff. Yeah, there you go. So there's retro. There's Once a Man Cobra Commander. That just means I've got more work to do, though. I'm doing dial tone tomorrow. Let's talk classified dial tone, and but then I thought I was ahead of everything, and now I've got another video to do. So brilliant. Chris says we need more Chris and Travis streams. Only person missing is Tony. Yeah, you should got Tony on as well. That'd have been great.
Tony's Figs or Tony the Great Tonino?
I think Tony. Okay. Well, either, but Tony's Figs. I think he was referring to.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Shout out to Tony's Figs. That's my guy.
Scott's happy. No one said skin flap yet. Sorry, mate. I just said it. It's been said. Brilliant. Yeah, Tony's Figs. Right. Cool. There you go. There's that. Digital renders. I can take 4 of those off now that they're in actual promo mode. And then that takes our digital renders down to just the crew of the Dragonfly, which we're still waiting to see figures. I'm still waiting to see those. I need that update real fast. Paul has asked, where's Pat? He's at work right now. So yeah, unfortunately he couldn't be on.
Well, is it possible? I know I'm already pissing off your audience. They're like, "Where's Pat? Get this jerk off the show. This old goat that thinks he's an elephant and keeps talking about animals." So you got. Do you think they'll just go full bore? Let's talk animals.
Nice.
Full bore with this Dragonfly figures at Yojo June because it releases in the summer. So then they could just kind of show everything and be like, by the way, check your mail. Like in 3 weeks, you're getting your all. I don't. Or are they gonna? We gonna just get? Because usually we do get updates along the way, but it's been a minute, so it's
been a It's been a while, as Stained once sang. I think the Emily did say on the last live stream that the only reason they haven't had an update is because she's been busy. And so it's been difficult to kind of get that stuff out. So I expect to see something before Yojo June.
The next one.
But then obviously I expect Yojo June to be around about the time that we start seeing it. Well, maybe August, I would say, is more likely to see the Dragonfly. Because when they say summer, that's a best case scenario, and it usually means the back end of summer. So I would say August is probably the best bet for that. So you're right. I mean, you could be right in that June might be the first time we do see anything of it, and then it'll be like, yeah, expect this to be coming out soon. Anyway, I genuinely was cry laughing so hard earlier that I've snotted everywhere. It's gross. It's like slime is up. It's like slime has been back. Brilliant. And then, of course, we've got the unofficial leaks. As I said on the show, the most recent weekly, which was this morning, we have had a separate source did talk about the Snowcat and the Thunder Machine. So the fact that we've got 2 separate, although
wait. So you mean someone that doesn't just collect 118 is actually your source now?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, I've got sources everywhere. I'm covered in sources. Tomato ketchup, barbecue.
Source magazine.
Yeah, 5 mics, baby.
How many mics do you give WonderCon? 1.5. Instead of whiskeys, we're doing mics.
If it was General's Joe's, it would be 5 stars. So I'm going to say if it's the Source magazine, it's 5 mics. And if it's WonderCon, yeah, I'll give him 2.5 because that ferret is violently good.
Okay. All right, I'll meet you halfway and go 2 mics because the ferret is pretty lit. Now, if we're talking about the other brands, and we won't on this show, but if we did, it would be better. I'm just talking about just for G.I. Joe too, because that's crazy. Usually G.I. Joe's like always a perfect 5-4. It's boring because of how perfect they are most of the time, and everyone else is like crap. And this time, it was like almost the worst thing.
I have to. Yeah,
we got Swoop. We got a whole Iron Man wave. We got, I mean, my goodness, we got even a new figure in Black Series. I mean, come on. Crap.
Yeah, I know. How often does that happen?
I mean,
nowadays
they were like, we need to overshadow G.I. Joe because you guys are kicking our butts for the last 2-3 years. Like,
I'll tell you what,
need to slow down, Emily and Lenny. Like, take a back seat for once.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's not all about you.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was an almost like an unwritten rule of that particular con. Say, can we just keep it level pegging a little bit across the brands rather than, like absolute fire G.I. Joe
here, Marvel here, and everyone else. And like, Transformers are kind of on their own thing. They're good. And then everyone else is like crying because just they're not
or cancelled or
right.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I wonder if there had been something like that. So I mean, let's not forget as well, this isn't like a usual thing for them. WonderCon isn't something they usually do, so it's not necessarily. Honestly, with something like this, it's what lines up at this point in the year for each brand, and it just so happens that more is lining up at this point for other brands than it is for GI Joe. I would say on that, like as a general consensus point. They've just
100%.
had. I mean, we've just had an event as well, a live event with how many, like 9 pre-orders, whatever it was, 8, 7, 8,
How many
9?
things are showing up at our door every day? I got a GI Joe at my door from some different place, right? So
Exactly.
they're like, it's like, and we still got pre-orders on the 4th. Like,
Ryan has said level pegging was my favorite bar game in college. This has turned into Full Force After Dark. I like it. I like it. Anyway, yeah. So we have. Sorry, I got off completely on the tangent there. But Snowcat and Thunder Machine have been mentioned by other sources, and that is always an eye opener for me. So I wonder now they've probably gone up a little bit in the likelihood scale. So that's pretty cool. IG Bat, less said about that the better. Mad Marauders 2-pack, Mad Marauders Sarge. We've seen those leaked now, so there you go. Retro Cobra Commander is still on the cards for that retro release, the next retro releases. And Heart Wrencher, I would say, is just as likely to come as well now, because she was mentioned in a group of figures that have all been name only revealed recently. So I fully expect Heart Wrencher to join that name only reveal party eventually. But Snowcat and Thunder Machine, buddy, is that something? I mean, are you going to be getting on? Are you getting in all of the vehicles, or is it going to get too ridiculous for size?
We only want 1-to-1 life size of these. Otherwise, forget it. Just driving around.
Imagine rocking a Snowcat.
Los Angeles Thunder Machine.
Well, the Thunder Machine. There is a real life Thunder Machine, isn't it? That someone has built, which is incredible.
Will it be at Joe Fest? Will it be at Joe Fest?
I don't think it will be at Joe Fest, but it was at Joe Con.
Okay.
The last one I think I was at Chattanooga. It might have been before that, but they had that bad boy turn up, and I got in it, and it is gnarly as fudge. Thing is crazy good, and it is like accurate as hell, man. I'll send you pictures of that, because that's so much fun. That thing. They use it for that con. That what is that con called? Is it not Power Con? There's a convention that's all like cosplay based, heavily.
Oh, Dragon Con.
Yeah. They use it for the parade, so they have all the Joe guys and the Cobra guys walking around it. Well, that thing's just
that's incredible.
Cruising. It's insane.
That's
insane.
All right, I gotta look that up. As far as this, I mean, I love the Vamp, right? I was like, I reviewed it, loved it, didn't have too much wrong with it. Just bring it on. I mean, there's nothing real. What else do you say? We just give us. Yeah,
just give it to us.
Well,
just
they set the tone. If we want to get descriptive, they set the tone with some snow stuff. I mean, Arctic Storm Shadow, they just threw that out there. But we got Snow Serpent, Arctic Bat. You don't make an Arctic Bat unless you're ready to give us. And remember, at the end of the panel at WonderCon, Emily answered someone's question, was like, we're always thinking about like the role play and the diorama, how like this, because they get to tell the stories with the toys. So I think that's the thing. Everything has a reason. Like, we got all the Dreadnoks, here comes the Thunder Machine. We're getting all these snow characters, here comes Snowcat. So it makes sense.
David Allen says there will be a vehicle at Joe Fest, but I can't reveal what it is. Awesome. Excited for that one. I'm imagining, is it going to be Finest related? But that's really cool. Either way. Avalanche confirmed. Tristan says, give us that sweet plastic crack. I'm all over that. Anywho, Pastor Progi said, this is a good point, actually. Emily could read the room and knew the headlines wouldn't be great if she didn't throw out some scraps. Good point. I do think there was a feeling there at some point where she's like, right, here's a name only reveal. Because that's the thing. They rinsed through it so quick as well. They didn't even give any time to really kind of talk through anything. So it was
great reaction. Great reaction, though, when she said, once a man, Cobra Commander, and the ooh came out. So
it's like a fireworks display. Yeah,
I mean, she popped the crowd with it, so I can't get mad about it.
She's a good MC. And then to finish off, Trav, let's do a little bit of promo. Thank you, first of all, mate, for jumping on and chatting through the masses of reveals today at WonderCon. That is sarcasm, by the way, before anyone
So many.
says like
33
what.
reveals, man, mind blown. Just crazy.
Yeah, so many, right? So dude, thanks for jumping on anyway. I really appreciate you joining us. And hey, we got an
For
hour
sure.
out of it. And you were like, we're gonna have to talk about so much other stuff. I'm like, dude, trust me.
Because we didn't
You're on the
talk about anything from WonderCon.
you're literally on the full force, mate, where we can get content out of, if we can get content out of Henry Golding saying a couple of things about possibly the future which he's not involved in, dude, you know, we can string
Yeah,
an hour out of For Once a Man, Cobra Commander. But dude, take us through some of the
for
awesome things
sure.
you've been getting up to recently, please, my man.
Oh yeah, so just the recent wave, working full time now. So it's hard for me to. I'm in the real world. We're filming. It's a lot of filming going on, so it's great. So it's harder for me to get the reviews out early. But I said I'm going to do them anyway. So I did Big Boa. Had a little fun with it here. It's the newest one that's up. I did. Did you get all these figures in hand? The new wave. Have you gotten them yet?
I haven't got any of them. I am I'm that
What?
person that doesn't, I don't pre-order anymore. So I just
Oh,
like, and also like we had to, because we bought a house, so we had to like
oh
be
yeah.
very careful with what we do. So the odd one
Makes
here
sense.
or there, but the problem is GI Joe dropped like 15 figures a month. So it's like, okay, I'll catch up eventually, but at the moment there is a backlog, and not even a backlog. What would you call it? Like I'm on one of those. I'm a back order situation right now, where
Yeah.
I'm still looking at some old stuff, mate. Yeah. So but I've been enjoying your reviews of these, I must say.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I had fun with this. So it actually last week or a few days ago, I don't know when it was. It hailed in Los Angeles. See that's hail.
That's
Like that's
amazing.
not some diorama. I was like, I didn't think about anything else, but and I had quick kick in my hand. I was about to record and I had like nothing to say about it because there's 8,000 reviews already up online and it snowed. And I'm like, let me go outside and bring these out here. And it was fun to just pose them in the hail and kind of try to recapture the scene. But I threw a curveball there. If you notice, Storm Shadow is looking a little different there.
Yeah, yeah. You've popped on a unmasked head going on there. Can you? Yeah. What's
Yeah.
that from?
I got it from eBay. Oh no, actually, was it Facebook? Man, I feel bad, man. I was not prepared to.
Eh,
I have to like look it up now and put it on and give this guy a shout out on social media because I got a connection through. I will give a shout out to Doom Days. Rick Lopez is the one who bought this and I threw some photos up and gave me a link to the person making these overseas.
cool.
So I had to grab a Tommy head for that one. So yeah, Quick Kick's a lot of fun. One of the better figures in the wave.
It looks great. I love the frozen fudgy as well. That's really cool. And then of course we had the Techno Viper as well.
The techno Viper, techno. Techno. This actually hasn't gone up yet. I haven't edited it yet, but I was like, why not show Chris? Yeah, we got
Nice.
it's gonna hit either tonight or tomorrow morning. I actually had a lot more fun reviewing this than I thought I would. I thought
Oh,
like,
cool.
all right, it was reviewed 12 days ago. Someone got this 12 days ago. You know how hard it is to like get people to watch your stuff when someone gets it. If you're not like a
Yeah,
giant channel, you're a small fry like me. It's like, how do
dude.
I come up with something cool? But I just honestly just putting the camera on, the light on, and having this in hand, I instantly just had fun. I didn't care about what I had for notes. I just had so much fun with this. And I opened the other one in the middle of the review. I wasn't even going to open it. I opened the other one. I'm like, I'm just going to have fun with, came up with some different ways to utilize these guys, these engineers, and I had a blast. These Techno
Awesome.
Vipers are too sweet.
I mean, they look great. And I was quite amazed at all the gear he comes with too. Because again, there's a lot of stuff in that set with the backpack and all the tools and the, the kind of the sonic arc welder rifle thing. It's just all really
Oh.
dope. So yeah, I'm definitely into that one. And the little readout display, the holographic readout display, is such a nice touch. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
so glad
And
they did that.
it even says ATKM on it too, so that's real cool.
I know. I'm glad they. Are you happy they added that?
uh if you're not, I'm always last, man. I mean, the few times I've been first, it's like the whole YouTube universe watches it. It's
Oh, mate.
crazy. And then
Every unboxing
yeah,
I've ever done has been 57 unboxings later. Like there's been, I
people
mean,
love you, man. People love you, and you'll do like you'll just sit and do what we did. You'll not even care about the thing in your hand. You'll just talk to the people while
talk.
you got this.
Most of the time,
Like
it'll
it's
just be my
amazing what you
face.
do.
Oh, I
What's that?
appreciate that, dude. I said most of the time it's my face, and I think most people get turned off by that, and they're just like, "Show the damn figure."
Yeah.
I do want to do it properly, but I was kind of treating the unboxings almost like an excuse to go live, almost. And then when we started to when it got to the point where it was like, "Oh, we're doing lives all the time now," it felt less of a necessity to do it that way. So I kind of want to do unboxings, but I only really want to do them if I get it in advance, and it never happens.
It's a lot of work.
Oh
And
yeah,
sometimes everyone knows I'm very outspoken. I get frustrated because when you get like, I don't know, 5,000 people that it just, I don't even have I have like barely over 2,000 subscribers, and I got 5,000, 8,000 people watching my review, but it's only because the algorithm dictates that I was early. And then I'm like, they don't really subscribe even,
yeah,
and then I was like, all right, but that was a good thing because originally I was just trying to hang with the Hendersons. I'm like, I'm just gonna, now I come up with concepts and ways to
yeah.
be different.
It's,
And
I do
now
like
to
that.
500 people because, and not 5,000 because it's just the diehards that love me. And I love all of you that watch a toy kind of mood. But now it's like, man, that was a lot of work it was 5 hours of my life to get 500 views when actually the live streams aren't that much work and more people show up. So
It's so
it's
true.
a love-hate thing reviewing these toys, but at least I'm coming up with ways to enjoy my toys more and coming
Yeah.
up with ways to be creative. You know what I mean? Like even if the algorithm says, well, you suck, you're the 13th review online, at least I had fun doing it. And I hope people who watch it have fun too.
Same with me, man. Like whenever I did the unboxings, it was only just for like a bit of fun, but we don't really do numbers on that at all. Like it's the lowest numbers on anything we do, but it is usually just to hang out, talk stupid stuff, have fun with it, tell stories about the original figure when I was a kid and all that jazz. But yeah, no, I'm with you on that one, dude. And like I said, I really enjoy your reviews because yeah, there is always a little fun kind of like twist to it, or there's a theme to what you're talking about, or there's like a running joke that's going through it all the way, and I do like that. So it makes it way
And
more interesting.
thank you so much. And I think I take pride in actually, there's always the shout I want to shout out like Baldy Locks because he does the same things. Baldy Locks reviews, and he kind of paved the way for me to be creative instead of just being quick and opening it and whatever. It's, and people who do that are amazing. Like the people that can just open it and know stuff off the top of their head and get the high views, like they're great. But like coming up with concepts and stuff, man, Baldy really paved the way to like the editing and coming up. You like playing with your toys while you're reviewing it and trying to like, where did this piece come from? Where did this torso come from? This knee pad. Before I would just ask Lenny and Tony or like ask my friends that like are really into. Now I'm like, I'm gonna do the work. There's no rush. I'm gonna do it my way. I'm gonna look through my whole collection. I'm gonna look online and really investigate. And I found out this buck, and I haven't seen anybody else say who it is. Do you know who this buck is on Techno Viper? Like where he comes from, the body? I'm sure
I'm
someone in the
looking
chat.
now. I'm looking now. Is that?
Yeah.
I recognize it.
You
Oh my.
should. There's a hint. You should
Oh,
recognize
is
it.
it Trips?
There you go. Now nobody will watch my review.
Is it Trips?
It is for the most part. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no need to watch it
It's
now,
almost
guys.
like, what was
You've
that?
you no need to watch it now. You've seen you got all the
Yeah.
information. You don't need to
Now I'm
watch
going to
it.
get my 100 views instead of 2,000 or 3,000.
That's cool. I
Yeah.
didn't even notice.
I
Didn't
mean, I
even
watched the
notice.
other stuff. No one said it. I mean, but yeah, it's Tripwire. It took a while to like, wow. I was like amazed that they hid this underneath.
I mean, you wouldn't know until you mentioned it. I'm like, I never pay attention to the bills, honestly. Scott says unboxings are just a follower chat, and I'm here for it. Well, thank you, mate. And I'm sure that goes for you as well on that one, bud. What's the record for people being on a full force live? I think we did creep over 300 once. on like, you know, on the little number in the corner. We're at 135 at the moment, which is actually really solid. I do like that. I'm always happy when we break 100
That's about
on
my record. I think one's like 140, and it's usually it has to be like a fan stream
Oh
review.
yeah, the
But I get
reactions.
amazed whenever we get over 100. You know,
You just
usually
have to
I'm
have name
happy with
only
like,
reveals. Just
yeah, yeah,
name only
yeah, yeah.
reveal.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Name only. That's
I
gonna
might
be
just
the
do a.
title. Lemily interview. We have all the name only reveals. Let's see how many views we can get. Even if there's
You
none,
would
we'll just
you
put
would
that.
get so
Clickbait,
many
baby.
angry people. Like, I mean, the comments would be vile, and I'd be here for it. Anyway, yes,
Yeah.
I think the record. I think we did break 300 once, which was amazing, and I think it was for it was a live stream reaction. So you know that makes sense, doesn't it? And it
Those
was really
always
quick.
hit big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really quick after the actual live stream as well. So it kind of,
Yeah.
you know, everyone was like still buzzing, and it was a
I
good
love
live
this
stream.
top. So I love this topic, Chris. I'm going to ask you, have you ever like done anything, like any kind of live stream unboxing, and you're like, wow, I'm amazed we had over 100 people, or I'm amazed that, was there anything that surprised you? Because I mean, you do great. I mean, you're the king of Joe media on YouTube, but I'm saying like, was there any time where maybe you just was like, this is gonna bomb, and then you did like fantastic or something? I don't know.
Yes, in fact, most of the unboxings, I just always expect a certain kind of amount of people kind of jumping on. But you know,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
we usually have a decent amount of people on the show. I can't, certainly not complaining about that in any way, shape,
sure.
or form. But I've definitely, oh God, was the one unboxing that just blew my pants off? Probably not. Unboxings are usually about the same level pretty much all the time. They don't really do any kind of like numbers or anything like that, which is, you know, totally
Yeah.
fine. What did surprise me were the Let's Talk Classified videos I used to do. I do them as lives now, and we don't get as many views because
Mhm.
obviously they're long form, and the
Yeah.
previous ones were like 7 to 12 minutes. But my God, whenever I did a Let's Talk Classified one, and it would have like a little history for the figure, and then we talk about what the classified figure might look like, it would do crazy numbers. Like, and it would always, you know, rocket up there. The interviews, obviously, the round table is usually what gets us the most. So if we do that
Mm.
Emily Lenny kind of interview thing, that
Right, right,
rockets up there. That just, yeah, that
right,
always high numbers on that. But I say
right,
high numbers for us, which like genuinely
right.
is
Yeah.
3,000 at the most.
Mhm.
Certainly no more than that. We don't have many video. In fact, this is funny. The video that's had the most
Mhm.
watches on our channel is a video I did on the Diagnostic 80 Reviews channel, which I just reposted on the Full Force channel, which was my Snake Eyes top 10, which then also had a kind of figure review of the Double O Snake Eyes that came out that year. So, and I had that quite early as well, which was great. But like,
Nice.
I did that review in the top 10, and that has done like 19K or something stupid. Yeah, it's
Ooh.
before we monetized though. So it's
Oh.
done nothing. It's done nothing for me other than looks
Yeah,
good. But yeah,
yeah,
that
I
was
got you.
crazy, man. And again,
Mhm.
that's been over a long period of time as well. But weird, isn't it? One thing just does that, and then everything else you do just might as well be flushed down the
Yeah.
toilet.
Well,
But
yeah, it's crazy. I always think about like how does this algorithm work? So like I think before I even started reviewing these individually, I did rankings because I'm like, I think I got a whole, remember that some guy over in like, I don't even want to say his name because he's kind of a jerk, but like a guy over in Taiwan had like
oh,
General Hawk and like all the Helix and all these figures. And I was like, all right, I'm just gonna help the channel out and pay like a little extra shipping and get it over. And I was like, well, they've already been reviewed, but I'll rank them, and I ranked them, and the video was 15K, our little channel, right? And I was like, what the hell?
that's
So then I'm like, I'm
amazing.
going to start ranking instead of reviewing. And YouTube was like, no, you're not. I started like, I was like, what if I just rank everything I have? I'll rank like my cereals, my breakfast cereal, my breakfast cereals, my socks. No, but really, like, I just like, I'm gonna rank all these toys I get every month that no one cares about because they only care about GI Joe. I'm gonna rank like wrestling figures and
It's
Black
amazing.
Series. It the all-time lowest views of the year are like my ranking videos now, because I was just like, that's how I just can't figure it out. You know what I mean?
Amazing.
There's just no way to do it.
Amazing. It's funny, like you want to jump on like a trend or something, and it's like YouTube are like, no, we've given you something, but now we
Right.
take it away.
And that's happening right now with my GI Joe reviews. Like, I was actually like, wow, I got more than this guy and this guy, and I'm like, well, I get the most. All right, let me just do them all. And they're like, nah,
No,
man, you're 12 days late. Like,
yeah,
you're getting 100 people watching your Big Boa review. 100? It's work I put in for 100. I mean, but that's, if anyone has an answer to the algorithm, call me at 50 blah blah blah. Like, call me. Like,
555.
I'll just put my number on it. Like, I have no clue. And some people get it and they do great. And I think it's consistency. And if you have a crazy schedule, it's impossible to be consistent. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Well, anyway, dude, that's amazing. And hell, 19K or whatever it was, 50, whatever you said, that's impressive. And I don't, yeah, I
well,
mean, yeah, you could probably live off that video for about a week, and then unfortunately, it's like, yeah, man, that sucks.
I can
But
actually eat steak this week. Thank you, YouTube.
I
I'm
can
not eating
buy,
hamburger meat. I'm eating steak for
I
once
can
in my
put,
life.
pushes the dog meat bag out of the way, pulls the horse meat bag into play.
No more Kroger stuff. I'm getting brand names now.
Oh, crud. Anyway, dude, that brings us to the end of the episode, my man. Thank you so much for jumping on and chatting.
Course. Thank you.
It's been a blast. Even though WonderCon was a little bit underpointing, disoverwhelming, something along those lines. It wasn't crazy pants, but at least we get to see the ferret, and I'm looking forward to those promo images.
And we had more fun just now in the last hour and 15 minutes than anybody who went to WonderCon.
So who's the loser, really?
Yeah,
who's the winner in this scenario? Massive thank you to Phil Donnelly for live streaming, and also for Black Genghis for clapping. Just kidding, but only if it was you, but I think you were just joking. Thank you very much as well for all the people in the chat. Thanks so much for watching and checking this out, and supporting the channel. I of course really appreciate it. Trav, we'll have you back on again soon, mate, almost certainly. For some, maybe we could find another crap reveals situation and do that. Like, I don't know, we'll see what comes up.
McLeod and Moody rank every GI Joe ever, and there's like 6 people watching because YouTube.
The more things you add in the rankings, the fewer viewers is what. That's the YouTube restriction right
6
there.
People are like, they're knocking in the chat and won't let them in. YouTube's like, nah, bro, no way.
You are not watching this. You are better than this, says YouTube. Anyway, it's been an absolute blast. Thank you very much, mate. Right, stay fresh, cheese bags, all of you cheese bags in the chat, and I'll be back tomorrow with Let's Talk Classified Dial Tone. And Trav, what have you got next planned? I should ask.
I don't know. Waking up.
Have you got any? You've got regular shows, though, haven't you?
Brushing my teeth. Wake up in the morning. Go to work. Take my dog out. Talk to the old lady.
Put my pants on. Yeah.
Roll up them socks.
I like this.
Bro, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do, because I mean, every Wednesday
the McLeod show. There you go.
McLeod show. Let's do it once a month. Every other 3 months.
Crap reveals is the new repaint.
There you go. Every Wednesday is a Toy Kind of Mood, and it's a late show because I know you're on the East Coast.
Correct.
East Coast represent, right? Boston. Here we go. But I'm in LA. So we're going 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern every Wednesday. And sometimes it doesn't work out that way. And then when they do fan streams, we go at night. I always ask you because I'm like, I'm the biggest fan of your show. I don't want to go against you. I watch it. I watch all
Oh, mate.
24 hours, 7 days a week. So,
I
I
put
don't want to go against that. It's impossible
ESPN.
not to go.
It's like,
Yeah,
Chris,
Joe.
I want.
Yeah.
Can you give me at least 1 hour this week to do a live stream? And I'll be like, let
Can I
me
get
check my
15
schedule.
minutes? Yeah.
No.
No. I know. Well, because we got like I'm looking at the chat and it's the same people who watch our show. So I'm like,
Exactly.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go against you. So yeah, every Wednesday, and then if they do a fan stream on a Thursday, if Joe does a fan stream, we'll go that night. If
Yeah.
it's like, the other brands, no. But it's nice to see that people are watching our show no matter what. Before it was like, if it's not G.I. Joe, then just my aunt and nephews are gonna watch and stuff. Like not even my friends are like, nah, bro, it's not Joe. I'm not watching. But now we got a good audience. We can talk about McFarlane, Motu, Marvel,
Yeah.
and they're here for it. I'm starting to see that. So it's nice.
And if you ever want to switch here to turn into a heel and go against us for one stream just to see who gets out on top, that would actually be interesting. I'd like to see it. We would split our
That
audience down the middle and start
that's a death
gang.
knell for us. That's a death knell for us, unless I do a ranking video against yours.
Do a ranking video against you and watch my depleted views just disintegrate.
Actually, my Big Bowler review went up at 7 a.m. Pacific time against you, and that's why only 100 people have watched it all day. They don't even know it exists. They're like,
Pat,
it just
but that's the Pat effect. If you get Pat on, everything's through the roof.
Yeah, I don't want to go against Pat. That's trouble. That's That's early retirement right there, going against not Picard.
I like the 2 tabs idea. That's a good idea. You can have 2 tabs open, says Scott, and listen to us both simultaneously.
Yeah.
Oh god, that would be awful, wouldn't it? But all yelling at once, just constantly for like 6 hours each.
Look at the pasta pierogi comment. That's a genius.
That would be, I mean, take your pick. It would be actually more easier to do 10 of your best full force streams past the
all the shows, the worst full force is all the ones that I'm on. Just like, this is number 1, like clearly. And the last 2 are like 2 and 3. And after that, it's like, all the times he had Lenny and Emily on, those are just,
those will go through the roof.
Right? Yeah.
Anyway, dude, thank you so much for joining me, mate. Right.
Exactly.
To all the listeners and the viewers, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. To all the patrons as well. Love the support. It's amazing. Like I said, let's talk classified dial tone tomorrow. And that's all she wrote. Wondercon is done. We're gonna disappear into the sunset. You can still stay up. You've still got time left in your evening. I'm gonna go to bed now because it's well past my bedtime at 8:36. Ridiculous. That's why I miss all of the stuff that gets broken at like in the evening, because I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh right, so I'm 6 hours late to this, but at least everyone's asleep right now. Anyway, stay fresh, cheese bags, and as always, after 3, you know what to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, Full Force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on X, formerly Twitter, @The Full Force, liking the Facebook page, facebook.com/The Full Force. We've also added a brand new Instagram, so check us out there as well, @The Full Force Podcast, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on any of those platforms with feedback and questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click on the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.